When did your body betray you? When it decided to piss my pants standing in front of a toilet. Years ago I went to this music festival with a lot of day drinking. As I was leaving I had to pee, but the porta potty lines were really long, so I decided to hold it in until I got back to my apartment. The train ride was fine for the most part, but by the time I got to my stop I had to go really bad. Still had a 10-minute walk to my apartment, but I figured I could make it if I just walked really fast. As I reach my front door I get a sense of relief that I made it, but I was really about to burst, so I hurried through and ran to the bathroom. I get there and as I'm unzipping my pants, my body decides it can't take it anymore, starts peeing. I was literally standing in front of my toilet and still managed to piss myself. Luckily there was nobody around, but I am still really embarrassed that happened to me. So there is a nerve that runs from the brain down to the bowels. I'm pretty sure there is a second brain down there, because this nearby toilet sensitivity becomes a real issue over 40. Like, how does your asshole just know that you are within 10 feet of the shitter? And yay, he will probably make it. Each and every single time whenever there is a presentation. Just speak, bro. Stairs. When you think about not falling down the stairs while going down one, you get this irrational fear and it becomes much harder to do so. I've fallen down like 6 stairs this way. I'm a woman, and I have 3 man hairs that grow on my chin. They're what would be beard hair if I was a guy. I pull them out whenever I notice them, but they keep coming back. Woman chin hairs suck. I also have this. It developed allergies of outrageously tasty foods after years and years of consuming and enjoying them. Bro, I could not imagine. Had a crush on a girl in junior high. That summer I saw her at the lake. In a bikini. I was staring and she saw me and came over to say hello. Needless to say my body betrayed me. In a very obvious way. To her credit she played it off pretty well. My wife asked me if I am interested in going to a ZEET session with her. I told her, please. That would be too easy for me. I was pretty dizzy after 17 minutes of ZEET, and she had to drive us home. LOL. What is ZEET? At 21, I learned I am a literal mutant, but instead of it giving me cool superpowers, my body develops tumors. You have the amazing power of accelerated replication. Which sounds cooler than it is. You know what, I don't trust you op. I think you're just here to laugh at people. I've been caught. 0. I discovered at 19 that I have a gene mutation that causes random melanoma tumors in my body. I'm 37 and I've had cancer 8 times. My meat suit is a dumpster fire. My meat suit is a dumpster fire. I don't know you, but after reading that sentence I think I love you. For some reason it didn't register how funny that line was till I read your comment. My ex wanted me to come on her face and how she was kneeling. Her facial expression gave me the feeling she was in slight pain and I ended up losing my erection entirely and couldn't get it back up. Same thing happens to me when I'm jerky's kit and I come across a picture of a girl doing the anime cross-eyed tongue-out face. Ehlers-Danlos loss syndrome. My joints randomly dislocate. Just yesterday, I dislocated my sternum. Yes, that's a thing. Earlier this week, I subluxated my left shoulder and my left hip. On different instances. Hello friend. Currently bedbound with sacroiliac issues until physiotherapy next week. Damn floppy bodies. Respiratory illness, you don't know what you have until you suddenly can't even breathe. I knew air tax was real. I have a horrible tendency to shit when I am stressed. I played in a rugby 10s tournament where I had 5 matches a day and I shat my brains out before every match. This has never left me. My first job in a new country was in a call center. I was wearing my shit suit and walked into the lobby. The first step I let out a fart. It was not a fart. Fuck. I ignore the receptionist saying hello and find a loo on the right. My pants heavy, I stumble over. I depants myself and take off my shit heavy underwear. There is a ledge above the bog, so I put my sodden underwear on the ledge. Head out to deal with the dehumanizing experience that is a call center. The day went well, with my member chaffing on my cheap suit pants. I remembered to go collect my shame in the loo, but alas, some poor bastard beat me to it. At some point during puberty my body decided it would be cool to grow extra thick hair on my butt cheeks. Ape gang. When I got a blood clot in my ovarian vein and ended up on blood thinners, which caused me to bleed too much, made me seriously anemic, and eventually led to a hysterectomy. I loved eating apples, pears, and cherries until I became allergic at age 22. Mild symptoms including an itchy throat means it is no longer worth the taste. Sad times. Me too. It's called an oral allergy. I can't eat any fresh fruit with a core. Apples and pears, or a pit, cherries, peaches, etc. Started at puberty with cherries and slowly the list grew over the years. It sucks because my symptoms aren't even that bad, but if you keep pushing it, your body can develop an anaphylactic response. Frown. It was a dark and stormy day in 7th grade, the teacher reading off a list of names to see who presents next. She is getting closer and closer to my name and I am fighting to stay awake. Then I hear it, Severings use 691, please present your slideshow. I go up and start listening off facts of God knows what, and then I notice, everyone seems to be focusing on me and giggling. I look down and there it is, a boner. I thought, how could I be betrayed by my own body? That day a new fetish was discovered. My body is a pile of shit regardless. 25. I started throwing out my back to the point of not being able to walk frequently. I have moderate scoliosis. Chiropractors and weightlifting saved me and now I'm better in my body at 34 than I was in my early 20s. Take care of your back and build strength, youths. Side note, if you're a woman who is insecure about your weight, just know that crash dieting will weaken you, and it's way worse on your joints to be weak than it is to be a little tubby but strong AF. Lifting won't bulk you without extraordinary effort. Of course a healthy weight is good, but don't mistake thinness above all else with health or happiness. Well, I'm a dwarf, so probably that. When I became a resident of Diabetesville. Just move out. Lol. Then I'd be a resident of Whispering Willows Cemetery. I have hyperhidrosis of the scalp and face. Means I sweat profusely at the slightest change of temp. Hate it. I don't know if that's what I have, but as the sweatiest person I know, I might. I hate winters because you go from cold to warm temps, and that plus the layers of clothing makes me sweat profusely. I live in NYC and take the subway, and summers suck too because by the time I walk to the subway, my body's warmed up from the walk, and then the subway platform's 10 degrees warmer, which makes me sweat profusely. When I used to do a lot of long distance cycling, I would do some leg training in the winter so I'm ready by spring. Well, one time after doing a workout, I couldn't get up from the toilet. Like my legs just stopped working. It was pretty bad. I had literally this exact thing happen to me after a 24-hour martial arts marathon in university. The next day, instead of resting, my dumbass decides to go out and play a game of ultimate frisbee with some guys from the dorm I was staying in. After we finished, we all sat down in a circle and chatted for about 30 minutes, and when it was all finished and everyone got up to leave, I literally couldn't move. My legs had seized up so completely that they just stopped functioning altogether, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get them to work. I had to have someone actually pull me to my feet in order to start walking home. And yes, it did result in permanent damage. My doctors tell me I put down some scar tissue in my leg muscle, and now I have very limited stamina for any exercise that uses my quads/thighs, as my muscles start burning almost immediately. Holy shit. Thankfully I didn't get permanent damage from mine. That's crazy. Lactose intolerance and irritable bowel syndrome, body hair where it ought not be, zits, and random pains for no reason. Worst part is, you're not even going through puberty. You're too old to be getting this kind of weird shit happening, lol. Me and a similarly disabled friend spoke about this months back, pre-COVID. They said that the difference between disabled and non-disabled people really boils down to this: abled people can trust their body. They can trust it to have energy, to fight off sickness, for the kidneys or heart or lungs to work. And many disabled people don't have that luxury. They have to be constantly ready for it to break down. It's like driving a shitmobile on an empty highway and just praying you make it to the next gas station. They said that was the most infuriating thing about the COVID response, that so many people took their body's vigor for granted. Yup, having your body randomly break down sucks. Knowing that on the vacation you plan on taking you might not be able to keep up with your partner/friends, won't be able to go on the hike, etc. friggin' sucks. I'm not disabled where you can see it, but my illness is technically disabling. I live a fairly normal life, but every once in a while my body is like, no bitch, you gonna die for the next month, enjoy. It's been systematically betraying me since forever long. I was born with a small birth defect where my ankle bone didn't separate properly or had some kind of extra bone, don't remember specifics, but we didn't find out until after years of ankle pain, usually thought to just be sprains. A massive cyst formed over top of it and displaced my nerves. I had surgery at 16 to remove the whole mess. Post-surgery, I suffered opiate withdrawals and barely slept for weeks. Last year, I developed fibromyalgia, so I wake up every morning feeling like I just got out of a car crash. These last 2 months, I had some kind of persistent vomiting for a good while. Still having trouble eating. Still haven't figured it out. And, oh yeah, on top of that, my body regrew the ankle bone coalition that was removed 4 years ago. I think I killed my body's father in a past life. You, gets harmful extra bone growth removed your body, hey let's just regrow that, it seems useful. Every time my stomach growls in a quiet classroom. Gotta eat breakfast. Sometimes, when I eat too early, I feel like I have to throw up for the rest of the day. A few months before turning 24, woke up blind on one eye. Turns out I have multiple sclerosis. I'm gonna search that up later, but that must suck. Could be worse, got most of my vision back and I haven't had any more injuries for 3,5 years. But yeah, it's a pretty serious condition. That feeling when you're so tired that you can't get comfortable and you just spent a few hours rolling around going MRRRMPH. HRRRRNG. MRRR or